Welcome back to Success with Steven. My name is Steven Smith. On this channel, we talk about all things financial literacy. And today we're going to be discussing a $95 million lawsuit that's going on with Apple right now for Siri eavesdropping. There will be payouts, and I'm going to discuss with you how you're going to receive your payout and when you're going to receive it. So this is going to be eligible for anybody who has an Apple device or who has had an Apple device from 2014 all the way up to 2024 in December. And I'll give you the exact specifics of this, but we're going to go through this entire article. Now, this was originally published on January 3rd, but more details have come out as of January the 6th. And it's just going to include a few more instructions on how to claim this and who's eligible in order to claim it. So there was a preliminary settlement filed on December 13th, 2024. That was in Oakland, California, and it was approved by the U.S. District Judge. And that's basically the gist of what you need to know about that suit. But this is going to be, of course, another civil suit where everyone who is involved in it can file this claim. And this is the latest eavesdropping case. It was two plaintiffs that alleged that they mentioned Air Jordans on their phone, and then the advertisement showed up, which all of us are familiar with, correct? And another claim had been received about a medical ad after discussing a specific surgical treatment with a doctor, which would violate some of your patient-doctor privilege. You shouldn't be disclosing that type of information. It shouldn't be recorded. And that's what was going on with Apple. Now, who could be eligible for the Siri eavesdropping payout? Now that the case has been settled and received the preliminary approval, it's likely that Siri users will be able to make a claim. So if you owned an Apple-enabled device between September 17th, 2024 and December 31st, 2024, you could be eligible for this claim. That would probably be, almost anybody. You also need to be based in the U.S. However, to get a share of the fee, you'll need to swear under oath that you experienced Siri activating unintentionally and had private conversations recorded by the voice assistant. That's probably going to be everybody. Apple has proposed a decision date of February 15th in the California court. So there's going to be a website that will come up. It's going to confirm and be set up within 45 days. And then you'll have to file your claim by May 15th, 2025. So when it does come up, just like the Cash App one, I'm going to give you step-by-step instructions of how you can file this. And again, 45 days. So I'll be looking for that somewhere at the time of like the very beginning of March. I'll be looking for it. And then step-by-step instructions will then come about how you can actually file this. Now, how much will Apple pay? As it stands, Apple will pay out $20 to Siri users, but the good news is that you can submit a claim for each device that you use, up to 5 devices or $100 in total. The settlement payout could be higher depending on the number of claims that are submitted and approved. So like the last one, I think there were people in the comments that were mad because I was making people aware that they can file. I'm not trying to hold any money from anybody. If you were violated by this, then you're entitled to get however much that you're able to get. So whether or not you file or not isn't important. I don't care how many people do it. You should be made aware of this because you should get reimbursed for it. So the more people that know, the better. Don't be greedy. Now, where the total $95 million will go, the cash won't all go to Apple Siri users. Some of the money will go to legal teams, which is also another reason why you don't get the entire like 95 million split over however many users. It doesn't always go to just the consumer. It goes to a lot of other fees. So some of the money will go to legal teams, which could take 30% of the fee plus expenses, a total of just under 30 million. So that cut a huge chunk into what we're talking about. That's literally 1/3 of what you could have gotten if it wasn't taken up by legal teams. So it might sound like a big payout, but the money won't be a huge dent in Apple's profit. The Apple iPhone maker made $93.74 billion in its latest fiscal year, which, I think that we know earnings statements are coming up for Apple actually next week. So, you'll already see whether they, what happens with the EPS. If they missed, if they hit target, They make a lot of money. We already know this. They're literally the largest company on the S&P 500, biggest company in the country. Okay, that's not a big deal for them. It's a drop in the bucket. So Apple has shared an on the record statement over email, and you may have already gotten this, but Siri has been engineered to protect user privacy from the beginning. An Apple spokesperson says Siri data has never been used to build marketing profiles, and it has never been sold to anyone for any purpose. Okay. Apple settled this case to avoid additional litigation. So we can move forward from concerns about third-party grading that we already addressed in 2019. The Apple spokesperson added, "We use Siri data to improve Siri, and we are constantly developing technologies to make Siri even more private." Throughout the entirety of the lawsuit, Apple emphasizes the fact that it has denied the allegation it uses Siri recording to target advertising for users. I think we all know that if I literally say something, I will get an ad on my iPhone about that thing 20 seconds later. These devices are listening to you. My laptop is right here. It's a MacBook. My iPad is right here. My phone is right here. I have two phones, So the fact of the matter is that all of these devices are collectively gathering your information in order to use your information, demographic, what you like, all of that, your sex, your age, your creed, anything like that. They're using all that information to sell you products or to sell your information to companies so they can target you. It's something that happens all the time. It's not like we've pretty much given away our sense of privacy for the convenience of technology. I think that we know that deal was made a long time ago. So Siri is designed to do as much learning as possible offline on the device, and that's for Apple Intelligence, which requests that users have private cloud compute. Your data is never stored or made accessible to Apple, the iPhone maker says. If you're using Apple Intelligence right now, you'll probably see this just get a lot worse. So it says Apple's 2019 change included no longer retaining audio recordings of Siri interactions. Instead, the firm continues to use computer-generated transcripts to help Siri improve. So now they're not recording it, they're transcribing it. Anyway, Siri eavesdropping. Should you quit the voice assistant following these claims? Well, like it says here, it's important to note that Apple hasn't admitted any wrongdoing in the Siri eavesdropping case, and there is no concrete proof that the iPhone maker passed recordings to advertisers. Data is collected to improve Siri only, and this is, whether or not you believe it, it doesn't really matter. What is important is that you take advantage of these class action lawsuits. You can get a little bit of money from them if you would like, and if you're someone who wants to take it into your own hands, well, you can file a lawsuit, a civil suit against Apple for the same exact thing if you wanted to do that. The reason why Apple likes to do these class action lawsuits is because instead of having to pay one individual a couple $1 million, if you decide to take this money, then you forfeit your right to sue for the same reason. You're going to just settle with this amount. So if you guys don't want to take this money and you believe that your rights have been violated by Apple, don't take this settlement. Sue yourself, sue individually, because when you take the settlement, you're forfeiting some of your rights to pursue legal action at a later time. So that's another thing that I want to make note of. If you don't want to take this little bit of money, you can do your own lawsuit. Of course, you'll have to out of your own pocket. And of course, you'll have to prove it. And of course, there'll be a process. And of course, they have some of the greatest lawyers on the planet. And that's what you will be up against. If you can make a strong enough case, then you can get money from them directly if that's what you so choose to do. If not, here's another option. There's a class action, but just know that you may be forfeiting some rights when you decide to take that money. Okay? Now, if you want to disable Siri on your Mac, on your iPad, you can actually do so by going to your settings, Siri, talk to Siri, and off. Now, do I believe that actually stops it from monitoring, recording, or transcribing conversations or gathering data? No, because even when your iPhone is actually off, it can still gather information on you and it can still hear. So just by owning these devices, you are basically giving away your privacy by owning them. But then again, we traded our privacy for convenience a long time ago. So that is a deal that you have to decide whether or not you want to be a part of. If not, then give up all your devices. That's really the only other option. But you can also tap and turn off by pressing the home for Siri and the side button for Siri to prevent the voice assistant from being activated altogether. And the potential for spying might be a worry, but Apple offers plenty of privacy settings to prevent Siri eavesdropping on your conversations. I like to always read what they are saying because I don't want to be, even though this is my opinion, I like to make sure that I'm giving whatever the statement is for the company, corporation, so it's not too biased, even though it's impossible not to be biased, because if you give your opinion, then you're being biased in it, right? But that's the end of this. I don't have an update for you on this matter until probably like the next, again, 45 days, probably less than that now, probably within like the next 4.5 weeks, something like that. There will be an update on this as soon as the website comes out. I am going to record a video showing you how to file this if you choose to. All right. You already know the amount that you can possibly get depending on how many people file. Remember, everyone's an Apple user, but also remember, not everyone watches these videos. Not everyone will actually be aware of this. And a lot of people just don't have the time to even pay attention to this stuff. It's very small to them. Or again, they'll think I'm only going to get $200, maybe, $100. It may not be worth it. Well, I mean, the less people that do, the more it'll be for the people who are filing. All right. And if you don't think that's enough for you, file your own personal class action, your own personal, civil suit, and you can pursue that yourself if you want to do more. Let me know if you guys have any questions. There's usually more articles for this. There's usually websites for this, but again, they're still setting it all up. I'm just letting you know that it has been settled and we are looking for a date sometime soon to know exactly when that website's going to be created and so on and so forth. We'll keep you updated with exactly what happens. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and you have a wonderful day.